So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you. We spend so much of our life trying to prove something. To prove that you're enough. You have to prove that you're pretty enough. You have to prove that you're smart enough. You prove that you're a good wife or a good friend. And I was like, I am just so done with the prove it game. And if you can't see it, I don't need to prove to you why that's your loss. Because I know that I'm a great friend, and I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love. So, worthiness, maybe part of worthiness comes when you stop having to feel like you're in the prove it game.
Hallelujah. I am getting emotional right now. Getting out of the prove it game, feels like joy, tastes like freedom. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, in her first ever podcast interview. It's happening! It's happening!
I was like, oh, the roses are coming back in.
They're coming back in.
Yes,
they're coming back in.
Spring has sprung.
I'm so grateful you're here. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Hi, crew.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
I have not done a show with no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have? What are you talking about?
You look exactly the same though. These are some of the hot questions that everyone wants to know.
Oh.
Talk about your name. Do you use Markle anymore? What's your morning routine look like? Would you ever write another book?
People are often curious if I'm going to write a memoir.
Would you ever run for office? Can you give us one hint on something exciting coming up for As Ever? I have had your jam in my refrigerator all year. No one knows. No one's seen it. I have not posted it. In this incredible conversation, Meghan shares stories and insights for the first time ever.
It's not about the grandeur of a gesture. It's about I see you. I'm nurturing you and I see you so deeply. And I love being able to see your growth. That man loves me so much. And, look what we built. We built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. That's my husband. He's just out there just constant, he's just going to do whatever he can to make sure that our family is safe and protected and we're uplifted and still make time for date nights.
Are you in love now more than ever?
So I feel like it's more of a honeymoon period for us now. He's also a fox, if you haven't noticed. My husband's very, very handsome. But his heart is even more beautiful.
I have a letter from your husband and your kids. No one's ever seen this before.
Of all things, it's making me emotional.
I have full body chills right now.
For them to be able to look back and go, oh my gosh, she has loved us so much.
Sometimes the world just needs a reminder of the power of goodness. And today, I am beyond excited to share one of those reminders with you. Because when we talk about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, we are talking about a woman whose very presence uplifts and empowers others. A woman who has turned even the smallest actions into powerful statements of compassion, dignity, and hope. And no matter how hard the bitter ones try to tear her down, the truth will always shine through. Recently, Meghan appeared on the Jamie Kern-Lima show, and what she shared honestly left me emotional and proud, so proud, to support her. Meghan spoke about what's known as the Meghan Effect, that beautiful phenomenon where anything she wears sells out almost immediately. But here's the thing, it's not just about fashion, it's not about vanity, it's about impact. Real, life-changing impact for small businesses, for women entrepreneurs, for survivors of unimaginable hardships. One beautiful example she shared was about the Valencia Key Joy bracelet. Meghan wore this stunning piece during a children's storytime event at the Invictus Games, an event already full of heart and hope, and the results were absolutely incredible. The brand saw an 11,000% surge in sales. 11,000%. Can you even imagine what that must have felt like for that small business? A brand that pours so much love and meaning into their work suddenly being launched into the global spotlight because Meghan chose to support them. The bracelet sold out within just 4 hours. Their website traffic exploded overnight. Their social media grew by nearly 1,000 new followers in 1 week. That's not luck. That's not some random fluke. That's the power of Meghan, a woman who consciously chooses to use her platform to elevate others. And what struck me so deeply was hearing Meghan explain why she feels so proud of this impact. She said it makes her feel great because it uplifts brands with good values, brands with strong ethical foundations, brands started by women, brands giving second chances to survivors who needed someone to believe in them. Meghan didn't just stumble into this. It wasn't accidental. It was thoughtful. It was intentional. She even spoke about a time when she wasn't allowed to speak publicly, when her voice was deliberately silenced. And yet she still found a way to be heard. Through her clothing choices, she sent messages. She used fashion not as a tool for vanity, but as a lifeline, as a way to make sure small businesses, women-led businesses, survivor-focused initiatives could not only survive but thrive. Just think about that for a second. In a world where image can be so superficial, where many are obsessed with appearances, Meghan flipped the script. She made her image a tool for empowerment. She used the spotlight placed upon her, often unfairly and invasively, to turn the focus back onto people who truly deserved it. And it's not just about jewelry, it's jeans made by women's cooperatives. It's sustainable brands. It's Scottish companies that were able to hire 50 more employees because Meghan chose to wear their designs. 50 jobs, 50 families, 50 futures changed forever, just because one woman cared enough to make a difference. Meanwhile, what were the haters doing? Mocking, whining, creating baseless controversies out of thin air, desperately trying to distract from the fact that Meghan was, and still is, making more of a positive impact with a single outfit than some of her critics have made in their entire careers. It's laughable when you really think about it. The difference between creating real change and sitting on the sidelines throwing stones could not be more obvious. And what's so touching is how Meghan treasures the heartfelt notes she's received from those she's helped. Letters from small business owners who tell her that she changed the course of their lives. Notes from people who were on the verge of giving up, until Meghan's support reignited their hope. And true to her kind, empathetic heart, Meghan has saved those letters. She keeps them as reminders of the lives she's touched. Because to her, those are the metrics that matter. Not tabloid gossip, not clickbait, but real human lives changed for the better. Let's also not ignore the contrast happening elsewhere. Kensington Palace recently tried, and very awkwardly failed, to spin some nonsense about not discussing Princess Kate's clothing anymore. They told the Times they wanted the focus to be on her work. Yet when that backfired, they quickly ran to GB News to clarify that no, actually nothing has changed. It's laughable. They can't even keep their own story straight. They're scrambling because they know what we know. It's easy to hide behind pretty pictures when there's little meaningful action to show. But Meghan never needed smoke and mirrors. Meghan is the substance. She understood from the very beginning that being in the public eye meant having a responsibility to lift others as she climbs. And she has done it with grace, with intention, with purpose. While others are busy playing PR games, Meghan is busy changing lives. And no desperate headline, no petty smear campaign, no bitter jealous commentary can erase that. What Meghan has built, the love, the loyalty, the global admiration, it wasn't manufactured, it was earned. Through kindness, through action, through real, measurable impact that no one can deny. And you know what? That's why we are here. That's why we are the Royal Sussex Squad. Because we recognize greatness. We recognize authenticity. We stand with Meghan and Harry not because they're perfect, but because they are real, because they are using their voices, their platforms, their hearts to make a difference in a world that desperately needs it. So if you feel that same pride, that same unwavering support, then make sure you are subscribed to Royal Sussex Squad. And if you want to go a little further in showing your love, please consider hitting that super thanks button. Every bit of your support helps us continue to share these important truths, to drown out the negativity with positivity, and to keep lifting up the people who deserve it. The Duchess of Sussex was asked her opinion on the Meghan Effect. Meghan Markle was asked about her opinion on the Meghan Effect, where something worn by the Duchess of Sussex tends to immediately sell out. The mother of two appeared on the Jamie Kern-Lima Show podcast, where she was asked how she feels about her impact on the fashion industry. For example, Meghan left a jewelry designer shaking and screaming after the Duchess wore her bracelet during the Invictus Games in Canada. This appearance triggered an 11,000% surge in sales for a small American jewelry brand. The Valencia Key Joy bracelet, priced at $125, 99 pounds, sold out within 4 hours after Meghan was spotted wearing it at a children's storytime event on February 9th. The brand's website traffic increased by 93% in a single day, whilst nearly 1,000 new Instagram followers were gained within a week. Meghan, 43, told the Jamie Kern-Lima Show podcast, "It makes me feel really great when, specifically, it can help uplift brands that have a great ethos and female founders. There was a long time where I wasn't out talking, so if you couldn't hear me, how could I be heard through what I was wearing if that's what people were focusing on? Or the choices I was making that you didn't have to say a word, but it would move product for small companies or allow, even when we were living in the UK, a small company in Scotland, to be able to hire 50 more employees or small businesses who would take women out of positions of being trafficked and instead give them jobs. By wearing those jeans, I knew it was going to allow them to save more women, so all of those things end up becoming a touch point that's really high value to me. Then, being able to hear the stories of how it has helped them or their businesses, it could have been the day they were going to give up, or it could have been the day they've just gone, why am I doing this? It's not worth it. If I can come in with a little sprinkle of fairy dust just by wearing a bracelet or doing something that changes the course of their business, that's a huge honor to be able to have that kind of impact for someone that most of the time I won't even know." Kern-Lima asked a follow-up question to Meghan about the Duchess using her fashion to use her voice, to which she replied, "Yes, to still be heard, and in that allow other people's voices to be heard. That's always meant something to me." And then, because I love a handwritten note, when I would end up getting handwritten notes from people from all over the world saying what it's done for their business. Because again, if I'm not reading press, even back then someone would say, "Yay, that's sold out," but you had no metrics for it. What was helpful is a letter would get to me. I'm very sentimental, so I have most of them saved. It really changed their lives. That to me is worth its weight in gold. Meghan's love for her impact on the fashion industry comes after Kensington Palace was forced to U-turn its style policy. A source had originally told the Times that details about Princess Kate's clothing would no longer be released to the public, arguing that the focus should be solely on her work. However, in a statement to GB News, the palace stated, "To be clear, there has been no change in our approach to sharing information about Her Royal Highness's clothing. Together, we are a force. We are louder than the haters. We are stronger than the smear campaigns. And just like Meghan, we are here to sprinkle a little bit of that fairy dust, that magic, that hope, wherever it's needed most. Thank you for being part of this beautiful community. Thank you for standing on the side of truth. And thank you for always choosing compassion, love, and light. Until next time, stay proud, stay positive, and stay Royal Sussex Squad strong."